Hello lamai. Enna mage wating indaganna. I'm officially 30. And if you're in your 20s, may video eka anivarenma balanna. The older you get, the more difficult it becomes to find love. As you get older, you get more busy. Oage responsibilities ut වැඩි වෙනවා. ඔයාගේ circle එකත් ගොඩාක් දුරට පොඩි වෙනවා. You tend to associate with people a lot less. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔයාගේ interactions, they would be limited to the people that you work with at your office. Weekends වලදී ඔයා ගොඩාක් දුරට තනියෙන් නැත්තම් family එක්ක. ඉතින් how can you meet someone when your surroundings don't enable you to? I know a lot of people who are struggling to meet someone. They are so lonely. And even though they are doing all the right things, they just can't seem to meet someone. And it's all because of their surroundings. This happens with friendships as well. Anyone from their late 20s or early 30s, yaluwo කීදෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද? Typically the answer would be less than 3. And even those 3 would more or less be acquaintances. 9 to 5 job එකක් කියන්නේ එච්චර නරක දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. Believe me, I used to want to be a musician so bad. After spending years of chasing that dream, I realized that a 9 to 5 job isn't as bad as social media makes it to be. ඇත්තටම කිව්වොත් ගොඩාක් හොඳ දේවල් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ මගේ wealth, මගේ successes, ඒව ඔක්කොම ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ මගේ job එකෙන්. And I know people who've made generational wealth from their 9 to 5 job. Hustle එකකට වඩා 9 to 5 job එකක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔයාට ගොඩාක් security සහ sense of belonging එකක් දෙනවා. Entrepreneurship කියන්නේ හැමෝටම නෙමෙයි. Everyone in their 20s wants to start a business. They want to be their own boss. They don't want to work for anyone. හැබැයි කවුරුත් කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ කොච්චර mentally and emotionally painful the entrepreneurship කියන්නේ. I am saying this from my own experience, having started my own company. If I could go back in time, I would think twice before starting it. Because it's not all glitz and glam. Social media wala dakina deval neme, because all these social media gurus, these entrepreneurs, these celebrities, these influencers, they never talk about the other side of things. They only show you the good stuff. And this applies especially if you're starting a tech company in Sri Lanka. මොකද අපේ රටට infrastructure එකක් නැහැ tech startups වලට support කරන්න. And the number of people that are holding our country back far outweighs the number of people who want to see this country move forward. Moving out of your parents' house and traveling are 2 of the best things that you will do in your life. Because once you move out, you really start to understand what it means to be an adult. What is it like to cook, to clean, to do every single thing yourself? And you slowly start to realize how much your parents had to do to get you to where you are today. And on the note of traveling, දැන් කාලේ ගත්තොත් ගොඩාක් කට්ටිය travel කරන්නේ එක්කෝ social media content හදන්න නැත්නම් මොන හරි fun එකක් ගන්න. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if you rewire your mind to experience travel for learning how people think and do things outside of the framework that you've been used to, your mind will expand. Chasing your dreams isn't the best idea. ජීවිතේ කියන්නේ බැල්ලියක්. හරිම අමාරු දෙයක්. For the most of us, it is extremely hard. And when you've been told to chase your dreams, oftentimes you have to pull yourself back into reality. All these motivational quotes and videos from, again, celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs telling you to chase your dreams, take it with a pinch of salt, because there's an infinite number of external variables that we just don't see. ඔයාගේ හොඳම investment එක තමයි ඔයාගේ appearance එක. මොකද ඒ investment එකෙන් ඔයාට ලොකු return එකක් හම්බ වෙනවා. There are so many studies from Harvard, Oxford, Stanford and Cambridge that suggest that better looking people or people who are presenting themselves better get paid 20 to 40% more than the average person. They also get a lot more opportunities. මම දන්නවා ගොඩක් කට්ටිය අපිත් එක්ක තරහින් හිටියේ අද වෙනකන් තාමත් තරහින් ඉන්නේ because of some of the things that my wife and I said on our podcast about how Sri Lankan people in general present themselves. But sometimes when you care about your own people very deeply and you want to send them a message in a world where content is highly saturated, you have to take an unconventional path. And sometimes that unconventional path comes at a cost. And in our case, that cost was taking shit from everyone. And that's okay. Meeting people becomes transactional. People are busy. They have their own things to take care of. So, typically, කවුරු හරි කිව්වොත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට කැමති ඔයාව හම්බෙන්න කියලා, it's usually to just get something out of you, which is sad, but it is a reality. Only a few people in your life will really want to meet you because they genuinely want to spend time with you. Achieving everything in your 20s isn't the best idea. When I was 20, I wanted to make sure that I achieved every single thing before I hit 30. I wanted to set myself up for success. But once you reach 30, you'll realize that being 30 is kind of exciting. And being 40 is something that I truly look forward to as well. Because your 30s and your 40s are truly the times where you will be at your peak. Your peak in terms of your health, your peak in terms of your wealth, your peak in terms of your successes. Of course, provided you made the right choices in your 20s. ඔයාගේ අම්මලා තාත්තලා, they start to age even faster. For some weird reason, the fact that your parents are aging only hits you when you reach a certain age yourself. ඒ දේ දැක්කම තවත් දුක වෙනවා. When you start seeing relatives and other family members slowly pass away. So you slowly start to cherish every single moment with your parents because you come to this realization that it's only a matter of time for them as well. And it hits harder knowing that they worked tremendously hard to get you to where you are today. ඔයාටත් ඒක දැන් තේරෙනවා because ඔයාත් දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ කරපු දේවල්ම තමයි කරන්නේ. Taking care of your body will become your number one priority. When you're in your 20s, you can get away with anything. Bad eating habits, smoking, drinking, partying, not getting enough sleep, not working out. But when you hit your late 20s, you'll slowly start to see that your body starts taking a toll. You can no longer do the things that you did when you were 20. As the saying goes, you can have 99 problems, but if you have a health problem, then you just have one problem. Ehnam, that's all for today's video. Now, you must all be wondering, Ko Shenanka? ඇත්තටම මේ දවස්වල Shenanka has been really busy. Ever since she started working with Nusair from Nas Daily, එයාව අල්ලගන්න හරිම අමාරුයි. But it makes me really proud to say මගේ wife වැඩ කරන්නේ ලෝකේ ඉන්න ලොකුම content creator කෙනෙක් එක්ක. Anyway, I didn't want the channel to slow down, so I thought I'd take a small detour and do something different by myself. Good luck, Lamai. I hope you found value in this episode. Catch you next time.